I recently got these muffin, they're not tins, I don't even want to say muffin tins because they're not tin. Muffin holders, muffin, whatever, I don't know what you call them, but silicone baking vessels for muffins. And I only had one giant muffin tin before this that I've had for years, but I was so tired of trying to clean it. It didn't fit in my sink, and it would have been nice for the periodic time when you maybe have a lot of people over or something and you need to make a lot of muffins or cupcakes, but I just don't have that situation very often. So I got these as a 2-pack. I'll have them linked below. I love them. This is the first time I used them. I didn't use any coconut oil or anything with the muffins, and it's really nice because you can just pop them out of the bottom because the silicone comes up and down really easily. So I love them. They're also really cute, which is nice. But here I am making some sourdough banana muffins. I made them with freshly milled flour. I used the Farmhouse on Boone recipe, but I just swapped it for freshly milled, and then I fermented them for 3 days, almost 3 days in the fridge because I added the eggs and everything right away, so I just didn't want to leave it out for that long. You can, especially if you have farm fresh eggs, but I had eggs from the store, so I fermented it in the fridge for a little bit longer, and they turned out amazing. I'm not doing gluten right now, but my son has been eating them like crazy. They were so fluffy and they just turned out beautiful. So I'll have that recipe linked for you down below as well. And I think I showed you guys recently this candle holder that I found at the thrift store. I painted it antique bronze craft paint. It was silver. And initially I was going to put a picture in this frame, but I thought that this would look really pretty and I really like how it turned out. So now I just need to find a small enough candle to go in there, preferably beeswax. So if you know where I can find any really skinny tapered beeswax candles, that would be awesome. So on this particular night, I didn't have a specific recipe in mind for dinner, but I had some sausage, grass-fed sausage. I think it's grass-fed. That's what it said on the package, but got it from Natural Grocers. And I had some potatoes, and I thought I would just bake them together. Sometimes if I do this, I'll add in other veggies too, like carrots or Brussels sprouts or whatever, but this is what I had. So I just did potatoes and sausage, salt, pepper, olive oil. I think I did some garlic powder and onion powder as well. And then just baked it for a while on 350 until the potatoes were like starting to feel soft, and then I topped it with shredded cheddar cheese, and it turned out delicious. I'm really trying to challenge myself more to just not necessarily, well, cook with what I have, but I still make a plan, because especially when you're trying to stay within a budget, I don't know, I suppose if you have a lot of years of homemaking and cooking and everything under your belt, it's probably easier to do that because you know what you're doing, you know that you don't have to waste things, and you know what to do with things. But when you're still learning like me, I find it really helpful to make a meal plan. It's just that I don't always use recipes. Like I'm at a point where that's comfortable, so I can still plan like, okay, I'm going to make something with sausage and potatoes and veggies, like whatever I have, and make sure that I buy the sausage when I go to the grocery store. But I don't necessarily pick out entire recipes and like random ingredients that I don't have. I try to think of things that I can make with various meats and veggies and fruits, and well, fruit as a side, but that way I can kind of figure out what we like, and then over time I'm hoping to just be stocked up on things that we like and that we use. And then that way, over time, like you build up your pantry, you build up what you have on hand, and then it gets easier because you're just used to what your family likes, and you can kind of shop your own kitchen, pantry, whatever for your meals. But I definitely recommend meal planning if you're in the earlier stages like me, because I have tried like a few weeks here and there not doing that, and I just always end up spending more, wasting things, and it just hasn't worked for me. So even though I like the creative freedom that I'm getting into with cooking, it's still like within kind of set parameters, so that helps a lot. Another thing that we keep up with pretty regularly, we don't make them every single day, but that is kefir smoothies. I have a blog post on how to make milk kefir and a video. It is super easy, and yeah, I do it probably every few days just because I do a big batch all at once and then I just put it in the fridge and we just work our way through it, versus every day. I just don't like doing this process every single day. Maybe I will one day when I have, Lord willing, a larger family, but for right now I just do it every few days. I really do think though, if you want to kind of dabble in ferments, that something like sauerkraut or kefir or fermenting carrots, a simple veggie like that, those are the best things to start with. It's just so easy, and really it doesn't take much thought. Like once you get past that initial kind of mindset hump of like, okay, this is new, I haven't done this before, it really is so easy. So I will have, like I said, this linked below, and I'll have the sauerkraut as well too. They're so easy. Those are the things that I started with, and now it's almost just second nature. I'm finding that homemaking is kind of a challenge in the summer, actually. I don't know. It's my, let's see, is it my second full summer home or third? I can't remember. But you want to be outside so much, but then you also can't let the house go too much because then it's even more work. So it's a tricky balance to keep things going and also spend as much time as possible outside. And especially when you have littles, like you have to be out there with them. So it's not like I can just stay in for a bit and, you know, do the things that need to be done. It's kind of a little of both. So I'm sure over time, you know, in 5 years, I'll have it more down, but it's definitely been like, okay, well, I'm just going to kind of do the basics, maybe a little extra. And then when we have a rainy day here or there, I definitely take advantage of those days to get more done on the inside. But it's hard because you just want to be outside, and we live somewhere where we have 4 distinct seasons. So I know there's a time coming, like in the later fall and the winter, when, well, I'd like to challenge myself to still get outside. I normally don't in the winter, but I'd like to now that I'm having kids and stuff. But you're inside more, you just naturally are. And so that's the time when I'd like to work on certain projects. But then the other part of that is there's certain things that are easier to work on outside and then bring back in. So it's kind of just like a juggling, and that is something with homemaking that I've had to get comfortable with, because I remember when I first started staying home, I was like, every single day just feels so open-ended, and while I love that, like I love the freedom of that, it's so hard. There's just so much opportunity, all different ways. And it really requires a different kind of discipline that, I don't know, I think a lot of us probably aren't used to having to exercise, because when you just go to a job, like you just do what you're supposed to do, which is the same in the home, but you are kind of the one that has to decide that and then discipline yourself to do it. So it's an adjustment for sure, and I'm finding it a little more challenging in the summer, so you'll have to let me know if you find that too. But I hope that you enjoyed this video and got a little bit of inspiration. If you're new, make sure you hit that subscribe button, and I will see you in my next video.